And when one of those guys who was making $95 million saying, I can't play basketball 2 days in a row, these fans are going to go crazy. And they have a right to do so. It ain't like we construction workers or steel workers who got like real jobs.
All these guys want to join each other well and play with each other. No, I want to beat you.
So many ex-NBA players and NBA superstars have been voicing their concerns recently about the current state of the NBA. Recently, information came out that in the last 12 years there has been a decline in NBA ratings of 48%. That number is staggering, and so many ex-NBA players and even coaches have been voicing their concerns about that matter. The NBA has been going downhill on every front. The season viewership is down, the All-Star Weekend is a mockery, and Adam Silver and co made it a complete circus this year. They're using gimmicks to fix the game and not listening to vets with some actual wisdom on what to do. Adam Silver should watch this video and study up on what the NBA needs to change the trajectory from going down to going up in ratings and popularity. The NBA brags about popularity being at all-time high because mentions on social media are in record numbers. But what they don't mention is that more than half of those mentions are all negative. Take a look for yourself at some great superstars literally telling the NBA and its leadership what they need to do to bring back the old popularity that the NBA enjoyed.
You have guys standing out there heaving up threes that's really not three-point shooters. The millennials, these players, more than millennials, are focused on developing their skills on the perimeter. You look at taller guys now, they're gravitating more to that three-point line, which it kind of baffles me more than anything, you know, because it's a lower percentage shot, number one. Second, you know, if you're physically menacing like a LeBron or a Joel Embiid, why wouldn't you want to take advantage of your man, the guy that's guarding you? Why wouldn't you want to take advantage of him down there on the block and closer to that basket, which is going to force teams to double and triple team you, which in turn, both of them are great passers, which in turn was, you know, you can find open men, you know, who will get wide open threes, you know, and I like playing the game that way, you know, but I'm old school, you know. I mean, I'm from a different era that we felt like that was one of the most effective ways, but now from an analytics standpoint, I think people see it a lot differently. I wasn't too far removed from being able to knock down a shot from the perimeter here or there, you know? And I wasn't too far removed from being able to put the ball on the floor. Tim Duncan was the same way, you know? I mean, we're both around the same height. And, you know, occasionally we knock a shot down from the perimeter and we could take a couple dribbles and hand the ball off. But we weren't fixed on heaving up three-pointers. I was a defensive-oriented player, and I was about forcing my will on my opponent. And with the way the game is being called today, then it would have limited me on my aggressiveness towards my opponent, because the game is called a lot closely now, and they've taken away the physicality of the game, you know. So
yeah, I don't enjoy today's game. I really tell people this, and they tell us that us old guys hate on what today's ball game is. If you can really understand what the game is, if you take 100 shots and you shoot 63s and you make 20, that's a very low percentage. If you shoot 62 and you're making 40 to 45, that's a higher percentage. So they got these analytical guys who ain't ever touched a basketball or play. And you want to tell us how to run what the game that we do? Steph Curry didn't ruin what basketball is. Steph Curry and Klay Thomas can shoot the lights out the basketball. If every team had two of them guys,
Right.
We can talk about this.
Yeah.
But when you shooting 32%, 30, 28 from the 3-point line, and you still out there jacking up threes, if I'm your coach, you're going to hear this sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody coming out. Somebody coming
Let
out.
me talk to you, buddy. Let me talk to you, buddy. As MJ say, you're playing hard, but you're hurting the team.
Yeah, you're playing hard, but you're hurting us. You're hurting us.
Team, son. I need you to give me some 2-pointers. I need you to give me some I need you to play some defense, give me some 2-pointers. I don't need you going 3 for 12. Now, if you're gonna make 8 for 12, shoot them. But we talking about you making 4 for 18. The Boston Celtics shot 61 threes in the first game. That's like me and you going to play horse. That's why. And we're gonna see how many threes we're gonna shoot and make. If you shoot 61 threes, god damn it, you better make half of them.
NBA personnel, executives, head coaches, analytic people tell me to my face, Mo, a 2-point shot now is a bad shot. We only want 3 shots. We want the corner threes, layups, okay, or we want to get to the free throw line. I don't understand. All I know is the best players all shoot mid-range shots. So when I go watch the game, there's no more creativity. There's no more imagination. We have basically robots running up and down the court. You run to the 3-point line, I run to the 3-point line. I'm beginning to question the teachers of the game. I'm questioning everybody now. No one plays the same exact way in the pickup game. But when you watch an NBA game, everyone plays the same exact way.
The physicality that was a part of the league, so many guys can deal with that type of pressure. And for J.J. Redick, who played this game, I'm very disappointed that he has said something so stupid. This is the thing I'm having a problem with. When clearly those big guys, even to the big guys today, they get touched a little bit more than little guys because they're around the basket. So it just don't make sense when, this is the thing I hate the most. We had our time. It was a great time. It's their time now.
Yes.
But don't crap on us to prove your point.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense and it's not valid.
Yeah.
But the same thing they look at Sam and myself. Oh, the old guys hating.
No,
hating on what? I don't hate on these guys.
You're responding right now.
Yeah.
You're not.
I don't hate on these guys. These guys
are
great. I just don't like to disrespect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to say that about Larry Bird, it was less physicality. Is he stupid?
Back MVP.
It's just a stupid comment to make. I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with Steph Curry or Larry.
Yeah.
It's the content.
Exactly. We just broke down the end result.
It doesn't make sense. And he should know better than that.
Yeah.
First of all, Redick don't know what the hell he's talking about. I'm going to
concur.
say it, right?
I agree.
He don't know what the hell he's talking about. I'm like, what basketball was you watching? To say something as idiotic as that is ridiculous.
Thing that I the most dislike about today's game, if a team is getting beat by 25 points and you've got your star players sitting over there laughing on the sideline, if I was the executive running that team, that person would be in my office the next day. And I want to know what's so damn funny. It's not, this is serious. But if you watch the NBA, it has changed so much over the years. It's about entertainment. Damn, the rules are so relaxed, okay? They are just so relaxed. I think it's easier to score now than it's ever been in the history of basketball. And that's why we see the game changing a little bit, the 3-point line changing. Twice last night, we had wide open layups late in the game, and we choose to shoot a 3. I just see this enormous change in the league. I think it's going to get more and more like this.
You know, that's why you're in the NBA for. All these guys want to join each other well and play with each other. No, I want to beat you. I want to beat you. LeBron, you say you the GOAT. Why you joining Bosh and, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't doing that in the 90s. Like Dream calling Jordan up. You want to link up? And calling Bird and Magic up. Y'all want to link up and play? You hear those old school dudes talk. They don't want to. I want to beat you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to join you. These boys want it easy right now. It's the AAU era right now, Will. Everybody want it easy. Everybody want it easy. LeBron want Anthony Davis. Who else you want, LeBron? You talking about you to go. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't think anybody in this generation could have played like 20 years ago. If I'm being 100, and this is to everybody in our league, Tatum, all y'all. Let me tell y'all something, bro. 20 years ago, bro, you couldn't get to a triple step back.
Nah.
You hear what I'm saying to you? You couldn't get to a triple step back, and then if you shot that shit, it had to go in. You know why? Because we had efficiency back in the day, my dude, and it was so fucking hard. It was too physical. And guess what? The league had to come off of it for the flow of movement to be able to have scoring go up, which is why we like to sit here and watch kind of the rat race of the high-paced game, right? But bro, let's not talk about the gamemanship, and let's not talk about the physicality of the game back then. Real shit, because I only think half these kids in the league could have been on an NBA team 20 years ago.
Straight up.
The locker room was too too grown.
You know what I watched too? You know what I watched?
It was too of them. It was too much of a fraternity. You understand? Like, yeah, man.
Just
like
the hand check.
No, bro. It was a different vibration. David Stern did a great job of taking all of the physicality out of the game. You understand? Freedom of movement means freedom of movement. Man, back in the day when you had to get by Paul because Paul was squared up with you and ready to slide, and then he could body you, he could poke, he could use his hands, but I can use my hands. The shit that we saw in the Olympics was similar style play when the guard could ride you damn near over the pick.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to get out of that, and a nigga like Holiday, when he come out and he get over, he there.
Right.
So if you go to cross him, bro, you don't even. That's what I'm saying, bro. Man, the levels in which you had to be not only strong enough but skilled enough to get by this nigga in front of you. You understand? And then they ain't never seen a 6'7" Rodman guard you.
Charles, can we talk a little bit about today's game? I want to know.
Yeah, Blue, now you're going to have to mess up my whole day. All right? I'm in a good mood. And there you go. You know, it's interesting, Blue. I was on Dan Patrick's show recently. He asked me a great question. He says, because our ratings are down. We've been up, but they're down now. And he asked me a great question. He says, it's because it's just become a 3-point shooting contest or load management. I said, Dan, that's a great question. I says, and they're both issues, in my opinion. Fans are not just gonna go out there and see a bunch of guys jack up threes every night. Guys don't even shoot layups anymore. They don't shoot any mid-range. It's like, we're just gonna shoot a bunch of threes, and if we make them, we win. If we miss them, we're gonna lose. I said, well, there's no strategy involved. Yeah, it's great if you're gonna make them all. I don't need any strategy if I'm gonna make all my damn shots. But I think the load management thing is gonna become the biggest problem because, you know, with this new TV deal, Blue, I think we got 5 or 6 players making $60 million. And bless them. I don't hate on the young guys for making that money. But when this new TV deal kicks in, it's going to be like, it's almost triple what it is right now. It is triple if I'm adding my numbers up, right? It is almost triple. Because 1.2, 1.2, 2.5, 2.5, 2. Oh, it's almost 5 times. So we're going to have guys making 70, 80, 90, $100 million in the next 3 or 4 years. And when one of those guys who's making $95 million saying, I can't play basketball 2 days in a row, these fans are going to go crazy. And they have a right to do so. It ain't like we construction workers or steel workers who got like real jobs. To play basketball 2 days in a row, I said the most you're gonna play is 4 days in a week. Most of the time you play 3, but sometimes you might play 4. But if we keep alienating the fans, when guys making 70, 80, $100 million, and they're like, I'm gonna do load management, I'm saying, whoa, that's, to me, that's a bigger problem for the fans going forward.
I remember in the playoffs when, you know, Scotty and Michael wouldn't even shake my hand in the jump ball.
Refused.
They refused. They looked at me. Now is everybody's hugging, kumbaya, hey man, good to see you, and all that. No, we ain't do nothing. It was a fist bump, keep it moving.
Fans feel the same way.
Yeah.
We want to see that because that's why we fell in love with them.
Yeah.
And so the only people that don't want it are the players. The
80s, 90s basketball, and I continue to get feedback from folks. They miss it. You know, they miss the physicality of the game. They miss the Knicks Heat rivalries. They miss the Chicago Indiana series. You know, they miss those type of rivalries, the intensity level of those games. They miss it. They miss our matchup, you know, going at each other, you know. So
I have a witness. My cousin Kenny was in the elevator on draft day in Portland. I go in the elevator. See that same damn look he got? He looking at me. I'm looking at him. All we hear is ding, ding, ding. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, you don't want to mess with me? I don't want to mess with you. And that's how we play. He said the other day he's not playing back-to-backs. Now put on your general manager hat. You approve of that or you disapprove? I disapprove.
Played in the era
which
we played
physical.
a whole lot of back-to-backs.
Yeah, but it was
we were hurting.
It was physical.
And it was
this era's
physical.
not physical, so I don't know why you're not playing back
It's
to
not.
back.
It was very physical when we played. Extremely physical.
And that's the only problem I have with it. Like, you shoot a heavy amount of jumpers, you don't really get banged up a lot in the post. Why are you not playing back-to-backs?
Get the officials to call it by the rule book. Okay. Stop the traveling, stop the carrying the ball, stop the moving screens, call the damn game according to the rule book because players will adjust. If you're going to allow them to get away with it, hell, of course I'll keep doing it. Call the game according to the rule book. It's such an advantage to let a guy carry the basketball or take an extra step. That's ridiculous. You know, or a guy to move on offense. I mean, what are you giving all this advantage to guys for? They're breaking the rules. Call the game according to the rule book. I charted a game a few years ago, Chicago, Atlanta. 59 moving screens weren't called. 59. That's insane. I can't even tell you how many times they carried the ball, how many times they traveled with the ball. It's pathetic. I mean, for me to watch this game the way I was taught how to play the game and to watch this and what they allow to let go, it's an embarrassment. I'm sorry, it is. It's an incredible game. The athletes are incredible. What they can do is incredible. But they're getting away with murder. And I blame the officials. Call the damn game accordingly. And it's the same thing with screens. I mean, I'll give you a good lesson here, okay? You hear even the coaches, when I'm hearing the coaches saying, well, he didn't set a very good screen. Trust me, guys, a player doesn't set a screen. Doesn't say when you have to set something and implies that you need to do something, you have to set a screen. That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility as my teammate for Clifford Ray, let's say, is to learn to put yourself in the most advantageous position to allow me to take my man and run my man into him, thereby making him a screener. He's a stationary object. He only becomes a screener if I run my man into him. So if I do a crappy job of setting my man up and he's gonna come over the screen, what does he think? Well, I'm supposed to set a screen. So he moves a little bit to try to what? Set a screen. That's a violation. It's a moving screen. It's a foul. Officials don't call it unless you take a guy's head off. That's the problem with the pick and roll play. They don't run it properly, they don't understand it properly, and even the coaches are talking not intelligently about it. It's not, you don't set a screen. You put yourself in position to become a screener. I mean, seriously, that's pretty simple.